Welcome to Fallawsophy. I'm your host, Jennifer Fallaw, and tonight we've got some new Jentel. Yay! It is Sunday night. We're hanging out together. And then we're going to talk about reincarnation. And then we're going to do some readings. Okay? Lighting's still bad in here, but whatever. Give everybody a minute to get in here. Just check on something real quick. Okay. There we go. All right. This is Jentel for April 19th, 2026. Interdimensional meditation. I projected my consciousness to the 6th level of heaven, to my house there, and in the library. And I spoke with Jesus, the apostles, and the archangels. And the dress was a very light blue. Almost like a teal, kind of a blue-green. RV News. Generals are in line to proceed. Iran is in violation of surrender. They will not keep to an agreement. The Middle East has been put on high alert. Iraq continues to place people in government positions. And other countries have assets on ledger to revalue when the trigger is pulled. There are 2 sets of books in every country. Interesting. Mid to late week for the trigger announcement. So probably looking like Wednesday, which would be cool. I can wait for Wednesday. That'd be nice. Because Archangel Michael told us a long time ago that it'll happen on a Wednesday after an earthquake. And that'd be really good for the book. So I'm okay with it any time before then as well. Meanwhile, other tiers are funding. And that is all they would tell me today. So it looks like Iran is a problem. And I don't know why anybody thought that they would agree to do whatever they agreed to do, but apparently not. So there may be some bombing going on. Okay, coming in the news. This was weird because I saw Civil War scenes, but like from the 1800s, that Civil War. So I'm either looking at a painting, it wasn't moving, or some kind of information coming out about that time. So I don't really know what to make of that. Second one, indictments, charges. And the next one, 2020 election. Numbers revealed. And on a side note, the 5 years is over. Pin in that. Shortly after, I think it was around this time of year, or maybe a little earlier in the year in 21, I asked Archangel Gabriel, when will we know the true numbers of the 2020 election? And he said 5 years. And I would not have put those words in his mouth. That is not what I wanted to hear at that time. At all. Well, 5 years is up. Let's see what happens. I don't know if I saw a train, some kind of long vehicle I saw a crash, and then I heard fuel spill. So I don't know if these are two different things, but fuel spill. Sounds like it felt like it might have some sneaky terrorist activity going on in certain places, and possibly here in the USA. We'll see. Last one, precious metals and awakening. Now, what I got with that, we never know what's going to pop up with the Jentel when they give me these words, but I kind of got, well, maybe people are starting to wake up that we need gold-backed currency. Okay? But I did see in the last show, I was doing the energy scan for the RV. And I did have like a stack of silver coins, like a pile of silver coins, like right here. And I said, something's happening with silver. Well, it's going up. So that's good news. Yeah. For all of you who have a lot of silver. And that's the Jentel for today. You can ask me any questions during the question time if you like. And see if I can pick anything else up. Specific questions are better about the current situation. I've been running around town all day. I don't know what's going on in the news. Just to be perfectly honest with you, I don't. Okay. All right. Let's do some thoughts over coffee, because this is how this started with me. Get the notes. So I text myself notes and then clean it up, put it in the journal later. Now recently, I've been doing these past life readings. I always did them, but more so because they were on sale lately. And some people, I'm always surprised. Some people, when they get on the call, they're like, do you really think I had past lives? And I'm like, yeah. You're an eternal being. I mean, yeah. But some people, and religion has taught us, you get one life. That's it. One chance. One chance to learn everything your soul will ever need to learn. That's it. There's here. Earth is flat. There's here. There's heaven. There's hell, and that's it. Well, you know what? Irritated by that. I was told a long time ago, when I asked the angels why they were telling me things, and I was auto writing at the time. I asked, why are you telling me these things about the future? That over time, the vibration, this is before anybody was talking about this, the collective vibration would rise. And people would start to consciously create. It started a long time ago. I don't know what they're talking about. Even the weather can be created to suit, he said. I said, why are you telling me these things? And it came out as because you chose to believe in infinite possibilities, and that is where we reside. And for years I thought, oh, angels, okay, yeah, heaven. Infinite possibilities, yeah. That's where you reside. And then later on, I discovered that they were talking about here. Okay? Man and evil working through man loves to put you in a box. They love to make you believe that life is very limited, that you are limited. You're stuck, you're just a piece of clay, piece of flesh that just happened to show up sometime. And now, and then all of a sudden, we have a soul. And if we're good, we get to go home to this place called heaven, or go to heaven. But that's where we came from. So stick with me here. I'm not trying to shatter your beliefs or anything, but just hang on. We're going to get real logical about this. Okay? Let's think about it for a second. I am going to attempt to prove to you, or wake you up a little bit today, that you were a soul before you were flesh. And I just have never liked any theory about that puts limits on God. I mean, who are we to do that? Right? And that is at the basis of everything I teach. Infinite possibilities. It's been my motto. How many freaking years now? 20 years? So I'm going to try to prove to you in your own mind that not only should we be questioning what we've been taught about our government, our history, our health, our food, everything. The first place that evil has infiltrated is our religious texts. Now, the Bible, Archangel Michael assured me, the truth is in there. We would not allow them to take it out. But they have held information back from us. They have reworded it, translated it, changed it, and to suit their purposes. Well, we can't have the public thinking they're free. I mean, we'll lose all control. Throughout history, for a very long period of time, religion was control. Okay, they had a large amount of control over society. Okay. I'm going to attempt to prove to you that we existed before we were born. In a very simple way, that is my thing. Basically, what I've observed that proves it to me is personality. Get the sound my way. I don't like that. It's bugging me. If you've ever witnessed a birth or been around very small babies, raised children, you will know they came in with a certain knowing, a certain personality, even down to the way they were born. Will show you that there is personality present in that lump of flesh that was created by egg and sperm. Okay? So, I'm sorry, I get irritated. I don't know why, because it's just like a lie. You know, like, all right. Okay. Let's just get into the stories. Story time. When I was pregnant with my first daughter, the whole thing was like a medical condition to me. Like, I was like, when I first found out that I was pregnant, of course, that was not in the plan. That was not okay. I was engaged, but it was not in the plan, okay? I had all kinds of plans. God had different plans for me. And I like his better. So I'm driving down this long road to go see their father. Long straight road, not much on it. And all of a sudden, it was before the 5th month. It was before I could go to the sonogram and find out if it was a boy or a girl. And I'm driving, and I can't even describe it to you. All of a sudden, I get hit with this wave of energy that was pure joy. Okay? Yeah, I was pregnant. But, like, I can't even describe to you what that felt like. It was just like a shoo. And I'm driving, and I'm like, oh, it's a girl, and her name is Faith. About a week or so after that, I went in for the sonogram, and it was a girl. When Faith was born, this child has freaked me out my entire life. Not in a scared, like a dark, scary way, but like an amazing way. Like, whoa. Okay? When she was born, you know, most babies come out and they're all wrinkly and red and like traumatized and they just sleep and they don't really look at you. They don't make eye contact, you know. When she came out and they cleaned her up, they handed her to me. I looked down at her and she was looking at me like, well, hello, it's so nice to be back again. I'm so happy to be here with you. And I was like, oh my God, I know you. I mean, that was like, it was like a saw a ghost or something feeling. And I was like, whoa. And I wasn't as educated spiritually as I am now. And I was just I had to keep looking away. It was just, she was looking right at me into my soul, smiling. It wasn't just like gas. It wasn't just some kind of physical problem. This girl was fully aware that she's back. Eyes smiling, face smiling, making eye contact. They passed her around the room. The whole family was there. Second grandchild, but my first. And 3 sets of grandparents, brothers, sisters, everybody. And they start passing her around. She's like, oh, hello. You know, she's looking at everyone. Hello. I'm just so happy to be here. This chick has been here a million times. Okay? She barely cried as a child. Now, I was on it. I made sure. I couldn't stand for the babies to cry, but just weird. Okay? Like, she's got it down pat. She knows exactly what she's doing. There was personality there. Even the way she was born. I was in, like, halfway there labor for 2 days. 2 days! And they sent me home. I was there on Valentine's Day. They sent me home. They said, come back tomorrow. And I'm like, oh my God. And when I got back there, I'm like, I am not leaving. This is happening now. Okay. So I got there in the morning the next day. I was there. Faith was born at 9:23 that night. What is it, Mark 9:23? That's in my my intro for this show. That's why. All things are possible if you believe, and her name is Faith. Now, I didn't name her Faith. It just came to me. It's a girl, and her name is Faith. I'm like, oh, wow. So she wouldn't come out of there. Now, this this connects with Faith's personality her entire freaking life. Okay, raising that girl. She's 26 now. But she will wait till the last freaking minute to do anything until there is some kind of consequence. If you don't do that now, you're going to be on restriction. Or you don't do that now, I'm going to take your phone. Or I don't have nothing now except kicking around. I'm not going to kick around. You know, the rents. Anyway, they pay rent. They rent the basement. Anyway. But the doctor came in. I was just like so exhausted from the 2 days. They gave me an epidural, and I'm like, this is awesome, this epidural stuff. Why didn't hell somebody tell me about this before? You know, yesterday we could have done this. The doctor was looking at the progress, and he was going to leave the room, and he goes, if she's not out in a half an hour, I'm taking her out. So then he walks out of the room, and she started moving. Like, it's moving, and I'm like, moving. It's moving. And the nurse is like, well, hold it in. And I'm like, I don't know how to do that. How am I supposed to do that? This kid's coming out. And so they had to go and get him. But it wasn't until she was given some kind of consequence she actually came out. She has been like that her entire life. No, it's not because of the birth experience. This is her personality. She's intensely intelligent. She's been here a million times. When she talked really early too. Okay? I wasn't teaching her to talk. She was too young. She couldn't even roll over yet. She was on the changing table. And I knew, and it had the little bars on it. I'm not a bad mother. It had the bars around it, and she's on change table. And I walked across the room to get more wipes out of the cabinet. And when I got back to her, I looked down at her, and she goes, Mama. I'm like, oh my God, you're like 3 months old. Freak me out. Okay, and by the time she was 12 months old, she had a vocabulary of about 35 words. By the time she at Faith, and when she was a small child, she wasn't the cuddler. I mean, she would cuddle with you, but then she's like, no, I'm going to go experience everything in this entire house right now. I'm going to play. I want to play all the time. I don't want to sleep at all and miss a damn thing. I want to play all the time. And that's totally her. When she, I don't care if it was a bath. Heck yeah, let's take a bath. Let's do that. Take her to the park when she was a little bit older. She wanted to be everybody's friend. Kids come up, she's like, friend? Friend? Yeah, let's all play together with everyone. Let's all play together. Fast forward, Katie's totally different. When I take her to the park, she only lets certain people into her circle. She's highly intuitive, but I think she only comes there for a good reason. She don't like it here. She's just like, when the kids would come up to Katie around the same age, she'd be like, no. I have to apologize to the mothers, because I'm so sorry. But she doesn't like my child. And I'm like, apparently not. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. But Faith, when she was 3 years old, she kept saying on a regular basis, she'd like look up off to the side and to sigh, or out the window of the car and say, remember when I was the mommy and you were the baby and grandma was there? And I was like, no, how was that? What was that like? And then she'd snap out of it again, and she'd start with the ABCs or the babble, okay? And when we drive around at that age, about 3.5, she'd get so mad and upset that she couldn't read the street signs. She couldn't read the signs in the stores. When we were shopping in the grocery store, she couldn't read the labels. Really upset. What does this say? What's that say? So I had to keep telling her what everything said. So then I taught her to read, like 3.5 years old. I put her into kindergarten. I had to put her into first grade because she's on it. She's like, you know what? I'm going to blow through this kid stuff. I'm in charge, and that's the way it's going to be. So I remember this one day I was cooking fried chicken, and like we're not from the South. Um, my mom, it's a light breading. We don't do it the right way, but apparently this child, I found out later, lived in the South and was my mother at some point. Okay, in another life. So I'm there frying chicken. And she goes and gets her little stool that she'd use to brush her teeth. That's just when we were first moved into the blue house. She was between 3.5 and 4. And she brings her little stool up and puts it next to me. I'm like, no, honey, mommy's frying chicken. You can't. And she gets up. She looks at the chicken. She looks at me. You gonna fry the chicken that way? And I'm just like, 3-year-olds don't talk like that. I mean, and then I just finally I just stopped and I said, I know what's going on here. Listen, I'm the mommy now, and it's my turn to do things my way. So you're going to have to be the baby now, and I'll be the mommy. And she never did that again. Now tell me that kid was created at conception. Tell me. No. Why would a 3-year-old child even have a thought? Remember when I was the mommy and you were the baby and grandma was there? No. So get around to Katie. Katie came in 2.5 years later. She's such a mini-me, but she's so much she has so much of her dad in her. And it's funny because she was only around till she was 4, and that's when he passed. So it's crazy how much dad is in her. She's a Libra. He was on this cusp. He was a Scorpio. But so Katie, she came in, and her whole life, she loved her dad and she loved her grandma and everything, but she's claimed me as hers. That's mine right there. Nobody else gets her. This is my mother. And when she was in my stomach, I had to have a C-section because she was actually facing me as if she was hugging me in there and was butt first, was not going to come out. So they took her out, C-section, planned. And she was born breathing faster than any I've ever seen an animal pant. It was the craziest thing. I was freaking out. But she was born having an anxiety attack about being here. Okay? And when she was about, I don't know, 11 months when we bought the blue house, Faith was 3.5. Shortly after we moved in, so she must have been just 2 years old. And she didn't talk as much as Faith, but she could figure out any baby lock, get through anything, climb anything. Faith was really good at with mental things and not so much physical, but Katie was physical. But Katie kept looking out the window ever so often. She did it, and it was for a period of time, about the same period of time that Faith would say, remember when I was the mom and you were the baby and grandma was there? And Katie kept just all of a sudden. Now, this kid lived in a clean, quiet, peaceful, sober home. I was sober. Me and her father didn't fight. I was home with the kids. I mean, she was just taken care of every minute of every day. There was no reason for her to feel this way. And she would look out the windows and say, I want to go home. I want to go home, Mommy. I want to go home. And I was like, And I'm like, why does she keep saying that? I mean, no, she must have been like 2.5. Because in my mind, I was thinking, she couldn't remember the apartment before we moved here. She was a baby. And then I got it. And I was like, no, 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 no. You're here now. You can't go home. This is home. And finally, I told her, this is your home now. You're here with mommy, and I'm going to make everything okay. You'll be okay. And then she stopped doing that. She was really passive in the beginning, and then she was playing. I was there in the kitchen, and Katie's room was off the kitchen. It was a 111-year-old house. So we had the big square kitchen, and there's a bedroom off the kitchen. It was really cute. We fixed it up like Main Street Disneyland. It was really cute. So Faith, the one's always freaking me out. Faith, when she would put toys, like when they play with blocks, okay, so you got the Duplo blocks, okay? When she would play with blocks, she would organize them. She had to have all the colors together. Highly annoying for her to mix the colors on the blocks. That's what she did. What she's totally disorganized now, which I'm like, can we do a little more of that now? But I remember that I watched them. They were sitting on the floor, and I was making dinner, and I was watching them play in Katie's room on the carpet, and they were playing with the blocks, big pile of blocks. And Katie's putting different colors together and making like shapes. Okay, she's pushing them together, and she's little. And Faith was like Mother Hen. She's always taking things out of her hand. No, 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 no. This is how you do it. Thinking that she's teaching her sister. And Katie, all of a sudden, she just stood up, and she had it. I mean, that was it. That was all she was going to take in this lifetime from her sister. Okay? It had gotten to that point, and she just screamed, no. And I'm like, oh my God, the child's cracked. And from that point on, Katie was a badass. I mean, I'm serious. So Katie did not like being here. It was like when she was born, it was almost like, oh my God. I take it back. No, I don't want to be here again. I don't like it here. Okay? And, unless she's having fun, and then she's fine. But the both of them have always been very intuitive. Faith used to say things like at 3 years old, Mommy, did you see that lady walk through the kitchen table and through the kitchen sink? And I'm like, no, but I'm sure that's just wandering spirit, let mommy know if anything bad happens, and she's always said, did you see that column of light at the bottom of the stairs? And, it's not. Now, Faith's, a little later, everything that Faith saw, most always is confirmed. I have never seen anybody. I've never seen a stronger medium in my entire life, and she doesn't want to have anything to do with it. She says because it's frightening, And I said, well, let me teach you. And I said, sooner or later, you're going to have to deal with it. It's not going away. But, she sees spirit solid as you and I. Walk right up to her, and it doesn't go away. I'm serious. Now, personalities. If it is the way that we've been told, egg pairs with sperm. Okay? And that makes you lump of flesh. And then it's all your parents teach you everything. Then why do these two girls have such different personalities from the moment they were born? Doesn't make sense now, does it? Get this. Both of my girls were born on a Tuesday. Faith was born in the evening. Katie was born in the morning. Before I came in to this world, I was unexpected. Me and my sister are 11 months apart to the day. I am the youngest. I saw my window. I was like, yep, it's time. It's showtime. Coming right in. Okay. So then my mom has a dream shortly before she gave birth to me. And I was sitting in a swing and I was swinging and I'm just like, hi, mommy. I'm coming. And, but you know me, when I was born, I was very passive. I've always been very considerate of everybody. Never wanted to be a problem. So I was born on a Saturday, 8 p.m. I was just kind of like, okay. Is everybody eating? Is everybody off work? Is everybody here now? Yeah? It's okay? All right, Mom, this is going to hurt, but we're going to get it done fast. And so it's like, okay, 1, 2, 3, I'm out. Least pain possible. No inconvenience to anybody. And I was born. When I was a baby, I remember things from very early on. I remember the things that I thought, too. There was a lot going on in my mind that didn't match up with a lump of flesh that was taught everything. I remember laying in the crib, face down and sleeping and thinking to myself, this is such a comfortable way to sleep. I remember my mother coming in the room when I was late through the bars of the crib. And I remember like this, it was like this patchwork quilt thing that I was laying on, and there were pictures of animals and blues and greens and yellows and colors like that. Primary colors. And I remember her coming into the room one time, and I was looking through the bars, and I was waking up. And I heard her talking like, oh, I think she's still asleep. That's good. I have time to do something. So I'm like, oh, it's not a good time to wake up. So I went back to sleep. You know, don't want to bother anybody. Don't cause any problems. So when I was a little girl, I remember thinking, I can remember when I was a baby. I remember a lot from when I was a baby. I can remember sitting in the high chair. I remember being carried around. I remember potty training. They had this thing they put on the toilet that had like this duck head that came out and looked at you, and so you don't fall off. And they'd put us on it. Scared the crap out of me. I didn't want to do it. But, I don't want to be a problem, so I did it. Okay? I remember one time choking and, like, turning purple, and my mother screamed, God, don't take my baby. And then all of a sudden, I was just like, all right, I'll stay. I mean, just... I was thinking about these things today, and I'm like, the thought processes that I had as a very small child were very advanced. I remember my mother was a hairdresser. She had her own salon at our house. She went away to I remember it was Long Beach. I remember them saying, Mom's in Long Beach. And Dad was there with us. And so of course we wanted her to come home because Dad didn't do things right. We ate weird things, Shelly and I must have been around 4 because I remember looking up at them and I was just a little bit taller than, or maybe as tall as Dad's knees. I think he was like 6 foot. We were small. So Mom came home with with gifts for us. It was like, remember the big blow up punchy balloons? I love those things. I was all excited about it. She brought those home, already inflated, and 2 dolls. One of the dolls had red hair. My mom at the time had dyed her hair red, and one had blonde hair. And they lined us up. And I remember them hunching down to look at us, leaning down, and I remember thinking, wow, this is such a good moment. Dad's happy, Mom's happy, Shelly's happy. I'm happy that Mom is back. I missed her so. It's probably a day, but I missed her so much. And Look, she's brought us presents. What a wonderful moment. What a happy moment. Then my sister starts crying and throwing a fit. And I saw their faces go from total joy to like, and I'm like, wait a minute, you're ruining it. You are ruining this. This is a good moment. It's a good moment right here. And she's like, I want her doll. I want her doll. And my mom tells the story to everybody. It's like, oh, Jennifer's so selfless. Such a good girl. Tells the doll story my entire life. But what I was really thinking was, no, shut up. Shut up. You're ruining this. You're ruining this. You're ruining. I'm like, here, take my doll. I'll take this one. Everything's fine. Boom. Everybody's happy again. Listen, a 4-year-old child doesn't think about that. They do what Shelley did. Now, Shelley's highly selfish. I really don't think she likes that I was there. Okay? The whole 11 months, she didn't get a whole lot of time by herself before I showed up. But I was always doing things like that. Like when I would see other kids play, like I'd see somebody take somebody's toy and push them down and hurt them and laugh about it. And I'm like, why would somebody do that? I mean, everybody was just getting along. This was a good time. We were having fun with the ball. Why would somebody take the ball and do that? There's something wrong. And then my mom would take me to the store and I'd hear kids crying. I'm like, we have to do something right now. Maybe he's abandoned. I mean, where's his mother? And mom's always like, calm me down. No. It's their child. We can't do anything like that. And I was like, he's suffering. We have to do something. I was always like that. Now, if my sister and I were raised in the same household, 11 months apart, we were raised like twins. My mom dressed us the same. We got everything the same. Of course, my sister, you could cut a Hershey bar exactly in half, the exact same number of squares, and give each of us half, and my sister always thought that I got more than her. Now, same parents, same rules, same programming. Why are we so different? Because you are soul first. This vehicle you have, you will change vehicles as many times as you'll change cars. More times. Maybe as many times as you change clothes in a lifetime. But our programming in society has taught us that this is all there is. Don't think outside the box now. No, you know what? Don't start thinking you have multiple chances here. Don't start thinking at all. Word for word. Okay. So I heard that when I was a small child. I'm like, and then what was it? The Nicene Creed, Catholic religion. What was it? Anyway, several times, the powers that be over there in the Catholic Church have gotten together and changed the rules. It used to be, okay, well, you can't eat fish on Friday or meat on Friday. That's a terrible sin. Terrible sin. We got to have fish. Okay? Oh, no, it's okay now. And I'm over there as a kid thinking, well, who talked to God? I mean, do they do that? I'm serious. Do they go and talk to God and get like special approval to change the rules that we're all going to go to hell for like a couple weeks ago? No. It's the hierarchy of whatever power system it is that makes the rules. Were there prophets? Yes. Was there divine guidance? Always. Did Jesus come? Absolutely. Was it a virgin birth? Yes. I saw it in meditation. Even before I realized what I was looking at. You have to wake up for a minute and think about these things, because there's a lot of people out there who say they're Christian. First thing you're not supposed to do is judge, right? But then their religion tells you to judge everyone. Absolutely everyone. And elevate yourself above them. Because you're following this rule set. When the only rule that we've ever needed is to understand that God is love and we are Him and He is us, and what you do to Him, you do to yourself. We wouldn't need all these rules. But it's the insertion of all these rules that has messed everybody up. And then the dark side infiltrates people, mostly men, because they were in power pretty easy. Oh, let's put all the men in power. Because the women now, they're nurturing and forgiving and all that, and they love each other and their children. They're too loving. We can't have them being educated and having any kind of power. No. Not until we need them to pay taxes, and so later on in history they can work and be educated and stuff, because then we get more taxes. You see? The truth is very simple. The truth is His name. I am. To exist. And what exists? The highest of vibration. Love. Love, creation, existence. That does not begin here. What about the people that live for like 3 years and go home? Did they get enough time to perfect their soul? To experience? No. The reason for our existence in the first place is that we're all pieces of God having an experience. Because all-knowing is not all-knowing without experience. And so He's experiencing everything through us, as us, right now. And when you do that, He has given us all free will. Why? Because it's Him. He has given us the ability to question, the ability to think. Free will. That means you come into many lifetimes as you choose. And if you only want to do it once, you only have to do it once. Okay? You can stay exactly where you are. Or you can become something better. It's all up to you. This is kind of the graduate course for truthers, because it's going to lead you back to the ultimate truth. And once we figure out the ultimate truth, then we can start functioning as a soul here and start consciously creating outside of the box. We just have to stay grounded and live here. We're here. Can't embarrass the kids. Okay? But one thing that throughout my lifetime, if I came here to teach you this, I've got lots of good stories. Okay? I've had lots of teachers. And I think the most valuable lessons that I've learned, of course, have been through experience. Getting it wrong, getting it right, trying again, not giving up. But I've always known that He is there before anyone told me. And I've always known and wanted people to be happy and to know love and to be love. That's always been there. Where did it come from? Is it because my parents said, don't be a problem? Oh, yeah, they did, but not that early. Okay? And why didn't it work for Shelley? Right. You can have 10 kids. You can have 10 dogs. You can have 10 cats. 10 birds. Every single one of them is going to have a different personality, and that is their soul and the expression of that soul's experience. Yes, you have past lives. Yes, you have a personal reality. Yes, you have alternate realities. It is infinite. Because once we're creating with thought, and if we have free will, we have freedom of thought. And for every thought, there is an alternate thought and another question for every answer. Stop putting limits on God. In the area in which He is allowed to create and exist, stop putting limits on who He can love. Stop putting limits on everything. God is creation and love. The dark side is the destruction, the corrupted pieces of Himself who are focused on the destruction and corruption of self. So I cannot, in good conscience, embrace any theory that puts limits on God. I knew my children's personality before they even were born. I could feel the difference. I knew what Faith's name was before she was born. Before Katie was born, it was her. I named the first child, so it was his turn to name the second. I'm like, all right. So we had. Katie was trying to tell us what her name was. We had a list on the fridge, like Andrea and Heather and Sarah and all this stuff. And I got Caitlin, okay? Katie. And what I had crossed it off on the list on the refrigerator. That was when we had refrigerators you can actually put magnets on. And then I was at the grocery store one day, and you used to have those little signs at the checkout, have you seen this child? And her name was Caitlin, but it was spelt differently. I wanted to spell it so she could be Katie, versatile name. I let it go. I didn't tell him about it. I said, well, he'll choose a good one. It'll be fine. And like when I was in labor at home, we still didn't have a name. Like the day before, I'm in the tub. I'm always in the tub when anything hurts. I'm in hot water. I'm like, sitting in there. Water hadn't broke yet or anything. And he just opens the bathroom door and he goes, hey, what about Caitlin? I'm like, I like it. And so forevermore, I told everybody to name the child, but I'm like, she told him that. That's got to be her name. I kept picking it up. That's got to be her name. And then all of a sudden, day before, Dad has an epiphany. He's just like, okay, what about Caitlin? And I'm like, good job. That's a great name. Let's do that. So what I'm saying is the exercise for tonight, and then we'll get to the readings. The exercise for tonight is I want you to go back as far as you can in your memories. You hit some bad memories, just go past that. Don't even focus on that. The earliest memory that you have and what was going on around you. Now, take a look at what you were thinking. A lot of you are going to be thinking like me. Humanitarian spirit came here for a reason. We got work to do, buddy. Okay? What were you thinking? The thought process. Was it that of a 3-year-old child? Or was it that of an adult in a 3-year-old child's body? It was for me. This world, the hardest thing I've learned in this life was not to be selfless. It was to stop being selfless. Stop forgiving so easily everything. You know? Because to me, it's almost like, well, that's not that big a deal. I was really passive as a child. I mean, just like, yeah, you play with my stuff. I don't care. Just stuff. Why would you hurt somebody's feelings over stuff? That's how I thought. And I had to, like, okay, you're going to have to toughen up here. You're getting into business. You're getting, people are walking all over you. Everybody's, you're everybody's doormat. You're going to have to stop doing that. It's still there. It's sometimes that's my biggest struggle is to like, yeah, well, if somebody will say, well, do you forgive me? Of course I do. Yeah. Because I just want you to be happy. I don't want to fight like this. I don't want to, and then I'm like, no. We got to think about this here. Now, like, what really happened here? I mean, this person did these things to you. Why do you keep letting them back in? But I want to. I don't want to deal with this crap. All this dark energy and all this meanness and all this crap. I've always hated it. It's like, what the hell is wrong with you? We came here to have an adventure, not to be a jerk and hurt everybody's feelings and take things and, do bad. This is terrible. What the hell's wrong with you? But I've had to toughen up. I've had to. All right. This person needs to learn a lesson because, they need consequences for the way they behaved or they'll never change and you'll keep being a doormat. That didn't come from one lifetime. And I'm starting to think not many souls come to this planet in this dimension the first time. I mean, it's not for beginners. It's not. I mean, Katie freaked out when she found out she came here. I mean, she's born having an anxiety attack. I had to send her father in after 4 hours. I was like, bring me my baby. And I sent her father in to steal her from the frickin' nursery because they kept her for 4 hours from me. I was flipping out. I was like, I'm gonna lose my shit right now if you don't go and get me my baby. I am. And that guy, I had a leash on him. I mean, all I had to do is just let go, and he'd just do whatever. I knew it too. I said, go get my baby. I don't care if you have to steal her. Do it. He comes running back down the hall. Got like 20 people behind him. Because he just walked into the nursery. It was like, and just took a kid. And he comes running in the room and hands her to me. And then they're like, oh. And they check. Well, the pediatrician like left her there and says, oh, well, sign her off, when I get around to after I have dinner or whatever and I get over to the hospital. You know what? I don't give a crap. I want my baby now. So funny. Anyway, think about it. Think about the way you were born. Does it match up with your personality at all? Like Katie? Katie was like, you know what? I don't really want to do the whole birth canal thing. Let's do a C-section. I'm just going to sit here until I get my frickin' way. All right? I'm not coming out at all. All right, we'll do it that way. Make it easier on you. Face is like, I'm not coming out at all. I am not doing that. Till the doctor says, well, she better be out there in half an hour. I'm going to take her out. And she's like, all right, I'll get my out. And me, in the dream before my mom had me, I'm just like that. If I buy you Christmas presents or I get you something special, I won't tell you what it is. I'll make you wait for Christmas, but I'll be like, I got you something special today. I'm so excited. You know, totally like me to come to my mom in a dream and say, Project Approve, I'm coming. I'm coming. So, anyway, you got to understand. Question any limiting beliefs. Question anything that puts limits on God. Take a look at who you were when you came in and how you acted. And why is that different if we're just a lump of flesh created by the same people in the same household? Why are we all so different? It also explains why some parents, despite their best efforts, will have a problem child. Dude was probably a warrior in some other lifetime, or many of them. You never know. I mean, he could have been imprisoned in another lifetime, and you're trying to keep a leash on this kid, and he's like, nope, I'm going to do whatever the hell I want. I'm back, and I'm out. Okay? Just understand that you are soul first, body second. I'm not going to get into the whole thing. But in truth, this physical body is held together by your soul and created by it. And if you want to change it, you want to heal it, you can. Okay? All right, you guys can start with your rumble rants. You've sat through the lesson. I just want to plant the seed in your mind. I get so upset. Well, internally, when people say that they're Christians or they're religious or whatever, and then they hate on people. It's like, I don't care. Okay, all of the Christian religions are an offshoot of the Catholic Church, okay? I'm just going to tell you that right now. And now they think that because they've learned some things about some of the bad guys way up at the top nobody knows about in their town, that every Catholic is a Satanist. That's like, well, you're just not very bright. You're not very bright. I mean, to assume that everybody is something because you found something out about the ruling structure up there, way up there. Okay? Clearly, they've infiltrated the churches long ago. That's the first place they're going to go. They're going to infiltrate anything that gives you hope. They don't want you to remember that you are a soul and that you are a creator. Okay? They're going to put division and confusion, in everything. Yes, you're loved unconditionally. But if you do this, we're going to throw you in a fire pit of hell. Okay? And we don't, and God won't care about you anymore. And it's something stupid, like getting a divorce. This is kind of what woke me up when my mother got a divorce and we were going to church and she couldn't go to communion. She goes, no, the church says I'm going to hell because I got a divorce and I was married in the church. What? I mean, you can see the light coming out of this woman, like with your physical eyes. She was, when she got together with my stepfather, she got pretty selfish. It's my turn to live now and all that. But basically, mother was like so selfless my entire life, just like a shining beam of light and love and just, goodness. And my father was an alcoholic. It's not God that says you're going to go to hell, it's the church. And they don't get to decide. That's the truth that they don't want you to know, is that your religion, your bond, your connection with God is only broken if you choose to experience that. Okay? It's completely private. your relationship with him. And I think I was a teenager, and I was like, young teenager, I was like, how could I, as a 14-year-old girl, be more understanding than God? I saw the whole thing. And in hindsight, church, my father would have died if my mother didn't divorce him. Because after she divorced him, he hit rock bottom and got sober. And I got my dad back. And I had my 27 wonderful years with my best friend. The good dad that came out when we go fishing. The good dad. Not the mean one when he was drunk. I got him back all the time. So you tell me what a sinner she is now. So when I tell you to question the rules, it's not so that you can leave your church. The point of going to church is for two or more and more and more and more to gather in true, honest creation and event for the good of others, for healing, for world peace, praying. The more they gather together, the stronger the creation is. And that's what it was supposed to be. I'm not saying these things to you so that you can stop believing in God, because God is the ultimate truth at the center of everything. The things that you are asked to do as a Christian, and I know there's Jewish people in here, but I'm just going to talk about what I know. Okay? God's at the center of the Jewish religion. But the Christians, every single last one of them are forgetting that they signed up to be Jesus' disciple. And what did he ask his disciples to do? To administer to the people. Counsel them, help them, love them, give to them. Number 2, cast out the demons. Now, whether you're a person that actually does that, or the demons in your own mind, or the demons in someone else's mind, to tell them the truth. No, you're not going to hell because you got a divorce. God saw the whole darn thing. You don't have to. He doesn't want you to stay and suffer. You actually saved a man and the whole family. And gave me a wonderful stepmother later because of it. And I loved with all my heart and soul. Number 3, perform healings. Now, unless you're walking the land and doing this psychically, is that what it means that you're supposed to do? For some, that is all that I do. Somebody once called, people use the word psychic because I'm retrieving information outside of the normal 5 senses, okay? This is all I'm doing. I took it seriously. Now, if I can do this by taking it seriously, what can you do? And where could that lead us? To a place where he actually told us we would be? These things I do, so shall you do? Yeah. We were supposed to be doing it this whole time. The whole time. They took the information from us. They changed the wording to create confusion and division. And then we had these other sects of religion breaking off of that one to, it was all about control and money. Oh, we can't let them know that. They can't handle it. Basically, they won't come in and put the money in the basket. Okay? Think about it. The only thing you need to do the most important thing, the most important rule is to love God with all your heart and all your soul. And if you understand that that includes everyone, we wouldn't have any problems. Okay? All right, let's do some questions. I get all that whole mother throwing mother in the fiery pit of hell. That set me off when I was like 14 years old. That was the beginning of my spiritual journey. I mean, I had experiences and things like that, and had heard things from my mother's side of the family. They just knew things. My other story. I'll get the questions in a minute. I don't have anything else to do tonight. My grandfather, Papa, he just knew how to do things. And he was the famous one-liners. I mean, he was the one who would say something to me and it stuck with me for the rest of my life. He's the one that came up with the well, he said it to mom passed it on to me, but when you're worried about something like, oh my gosh, I'm this or I'm that or I'm not this or I'm not that, and he says, compared to what? According to who? Boom, wake you up right there. Can use that with everything. But my grandfather, we would have nobody neutered and spayed and neutered their pets back then. That was before that. And so we always had puppies. We always had kittens. I remember laying down in the grass and the dogs, each female had a litter of like 12 puppies. And I remember when you're laying down in the grass and just go, puppy, puppy, puppy. And all these puppies just all over me. Just little puppies just come running across the grass. I'll never forget that. Anyway, Papa, one of the kittens was born with all the organs on the outside of the body and like this thin, like, covering. And I was there and they were trying to figure out what to do. And he's like, well, bring me this and that. And, so whiskey and a X-Acto knife and a needle and some, sterilized thread. So I watched him. He took a Q-tip and kept feeding the kitten some. Was it a kitten? No, it was a puppy. That's right, because the neighbor got the dog. All right, so and then he just went over there and performed surgery. After he got the puppy good and drunk, he performed surgery, put all the organs back in, sewed him up, and the dog, we gave it to the neighbor, lived. Like full life. Where's that knowledge coming from? My grandfather owned a toy store, and then he was a real estate broker. He didn't know how to do that. He just knew. I got a million of them. I got a million stories. I could tell you all the face stories. It would freak you out. You'll never question whether our loved ones come to visit us not again. All right, here we go. I heard something out in the hallway. It sounded like something fell. Just want to see what that was. All right, let's do some readings. Damn. Trust in God. Do not touch it. All right. Debbie Hannon. May God bless you and your family. Thank you. Love hearing about your beautiful girls. Please pray for my daughter, Caitlin, addiction and marriage. Amen. There's not much we can do about it right now, but she's going to be okay. She's going to get past this. Might take a year or so, but she's going to get past this. Okay. Dentra 112. Thank you for all you do, Jen. Your healing words have changed my life. Oh, good. I'm so glad to hear it. Will I be able to sell my current home and be in a new home by August 27th, 2026? Will I be happy there? She will, Gabriel said. And the angels are so, happiness is your choice. Let's take a, yes, you're going to be happy. Hi, Jen. Sean W. here. I think you said I was a B, but how many? I don't know. Freaking Sean. Definitely a double B. I could attempt to tell you what it is, but it could be wrong. Hi, Jen. My name is Kathy D. Will my RV appointment go smoothly? Yeah, it's easy. Yeah. Basically, everything's done for you and everything is explained to you all along the way. All right, we did that. We did that. We did that. Oh, my. Patience. Let's see. With yourself. You know what it is? It's because they move when I try to click on them. When another one comes in, it moves, and I hit the wrong thing, and I go to someone's profile. That's what happens. Nadine, what does God or Jesus want me to know? Thank you, Jen. All right, we got a message for Nadine. That all will be well, and you are safe. Mostly, I think you worry about other people. I love Jesus. He's so good. Reset. He said mostly she worries about other people. We will take care of those other people so you do not have to worry. I love that. I love that. Ugh. Russian gal 777. Gaussian gal. Will I be an MRB? How far will I have to drive to my redemption center? MRB. B. Gabriel. How far? 20 minutes? Okay. Wow. All right, I did that. Let's try this a different way. You know, there's got to be a better method, Jen. Let's figure this out. All right. Let's go back to where we were. 2020. There's a 50. Thank you, Lori. Hi, Jen. Lori here. I'm an MRB. Am I an MRB? Will I purchase the property on 986 Austin Road? Oh, you want to know which one? All right, so we got Austin, got Wilkerson, and we've got Hardman. Let's see if we can see any paperwork. Well, Gabriel just said Wilkerson. And MRB, B. Double B. Did that. All right. That. Elizabeth here. I'm going on vacation next week. Do you see a safe trip? M or B? B. Give yourself more time. I see you rushing around, all stressed out, trying to get out of here. Out of there. Leaving on your trip. Yep. Home safe. So when I do that, what it looks like for all of you is that I start at the beginning when like we're putting stuff in the car. And then the images start flashing really fast. Like it's on fast forward. Until I see you get back in the house. That's how I know. Well, my first daughter, Tiara, ever talked to me again. It's been 2 years. Tick 8864. 3-year mark. Yep. Iridescent 7. Paul here. We think we will help family and friends anonymously. Oh my goodness, it's too close. Will most of them be able to handle money, or will they just freak out? Maybe they won't need it with Nasara. Okay, this is a worry for a lot of people, and I asked Jesus about it a long time ago. He basically said, now, if somebody has addictions and you give them like $1 million, probably not a good idea. Okay? You should probably have some kind of like, you can't control what somebody does with their money. And you can't control what they do with their life. You can't just say, I'm going to give you $1 million, all right? Or $5 million. You need to live your life the way I say. No. I know most of you just don't want people to hurt themselves, so make sure the maturity level is there. You don't want to give a 25-year-old $1 billion and say, well, have fun. It's not going to go well. You're going to put something like in a trust and give them a certain amount. Okay. You can do something like that. But what Jesus said about giving, and we, at the time we were talking about the RV, but we were also talking about giving money like to somebody on the street who's standing there in the rain with a sign. What if they buy this with it? What if they don't buy food with it? What if they don't do this? First of all, dude's worse off than you are right now, okay? Standing on the street with a sign. But what Jesus said about any gift, your only concern or responsibility is to give. Not the control of what they do with what you gave them. That's up to them. They were given the opportunity to better their life. They were given the opportunity. It's up to them whether they take it or not. Then you put it in God's hands. Okay? My girls aren't mature enough to handle that much money. They're just going to I'm just going to delve it out, monthly or yearly amount, probably monthly. Just, a sufficient amount to live comfortably, but not enough to travel around the world and put themselves into, I don't know. Once they're 40, I'd probably be like, yeah, you can have it all. It's fine. You've lived a little. But don't expect somebody if you give them money and they go and buy a certain a really expensive car, well, that's excessive. You shouldn't have done that. Don't do that to people. It's none of your business what they do with it. It's only that you gave. That's all you need to be concerned about. All right. Roxanne, will it be an M or B? B. Double B. Jane B here. When will I be closing on my Gulf front home in Florida? When would be closing on it? July, August. Takes a while. I'm really like beginning of first week of August is what I'm seeing. Sharon, what can you tell us about data centers' effect on environment and neighbors they run in? Are they bad? Neighborhoods they run in. Data centers. I don't know. I'm not even sure what a data center is doing. I mean, let's just ask. Gabriel, are they a danger to the environment or the neighbors? No. Other than like high EMF, if you're sensitive to that, don't live in a neighborhood with a data center. Okay, I missed a whole group of rants. Where the hell are they? Because maybe they put them up too early. Because I go back to the beginning of my list and they're gone. All right, let's get these done. Hi, Jen, it's Tiffany. You look blind. I've always been blind too. I don't know what that's about. You look fabulous in your pink. Oh, thank you. Can you see me at my RV appointment? What is my reaction? And will I be able to drive home without having a heart attack? Yeah. Should I bring a driver? Well, if you're worried about it, probably. I think by the time you sit through it, you'll have calmed down. Gabriel says she might need a driver. She might need a driver. You guys are gonna have to psych yourself out for this. I've been saying this for a long time. Listen, don't go in there and just, oh my god, give yourself a heart attack and like waited all this time and you just like pass out on the floor. No, we're not doing that. Okay. What I do when something's too big to take in at once, good or bad, is I just go autopilot. I don't know how to explain that to you, but I'm just like, autopilot is a frame of mind where it's like, all right, we're getting in. This is what we need to do today. This is completely normal. This happens all the time. Okay? I am not going to emotionally react to this. We're going to get in there. We're going to get it done. Okay? And then later, when I get home, I'll start taking it in little pieces, which looks like this. Oh my god, I can't believe that happened. Never so often. Oh my god, I can't believe that happened. So I just like I don't know if it's instinct or what, but it's something I've learned to do. You take it in a little bit at a time. Okay? But go in with the mindset is, listen, I've expected this to happen. Pretty sure what's going to happen here. I'm already okay with it. Let's get okay with it now. Also good for our creation. Okay? Son of a motherless goat. I mean, trusting God. All right, where am I at? Okay, I'm just going to go down the feed here. This is ridiculous with this little phone. Stupid. You know what I was going to try to do? Hang on a second. I want to see if I can go to another page, to the Rumble page, and pick it up. Thing I don't freeze or anything. Let me see if I can do that. Am I frozen? Well, it's delayed what I'm looking at, but am I frozen? Yeah, I'm probably frozen. Nice, nice, nice. All right, we're not doing that. That is not good for the self-esteem. Did that. Did that one. Roxanne Granado. M or B? B? That was Jane B. That was the data centers. Tiffany did that. Here we go. Nikki, 8844. Is my friend Cooper going to be in New Jersey or Arizona this summer? Arizona. Yes. Jen, my name is Cindy. Will I be going to a redemption center or a bank for the RV? You're doing business with the redemption center, but the location will be inside a bank. They cannot afford to own all the locations they need to do this. So they are renting space inside of financial institutions to get this done. So yes, you're working with a redemption center. Hi, Jen, Susan here. Is 647 my new home? Yes. I see you guys working in there, Marcy. Pretty sure I saw Marcy in there. Gina's there. Yep. There's Marcy. That's my girls. I think I saw. Oh, Scott, you're in there. Scott 1484. Prayers for Scott 1484 and his family. They had a loss today. They lost a family member yesterday. Hi, Joanne. Love you too. Let's see. My Ben's 207. Hi, Jen. Will I be. I thought I just did that. Kellen here. Do you see everything going smooth at my RV appointment? Yes. My Ben's, will I be at a redemption center or a bank for the RV redemption? You're doing business with a redemption center. Anybody, if I missed a rant, email me. I will answer your question in the email. Okay. Justin Lloyd. Do you see me at a redemption center this month? Yes. As of now, yes. I would stream from Rumble Studio instead of my StreamYard, which I pay a lot for StreamYard because I have the big package where you can have do events on it. But I would stream from Rumble Studio, but then I don't think I can hook up YouTube. I'm not quite sure. I probably can. I just haven't figured it out. But I already pay for this, yearly. So okay, Eardef is 7. Paul said I missed something. Ask your team what past life of mine is most important for me to consider in this lifetime. There are many to choose from. Yeah, there are many to choose from, Paul. You were a man of the cloth. You actually look like a monk. But that's probably not a monk. The color is actually, I think, red or orange. You had a life where you were of service, and you've had a very strong faith. I'm not going to have enough time to figure out how that ties in for you. Thormus, hi Tom. Love you, Jen. Love you too. Love hearing you tell stories. Thank you for everything you do. Oh, Tom, thank you. Clara, 732. Clara and Wayne D here. Hi. M or B? B. Do you see 1297 or 8487? 1297, I heard. P Green Swim. B or T? It's in the billion range. I mean, it might be double or triple. I'm looking at triple, but I don't think you're up to T yet. Okay. Did I get them all? I think I did. Going back. Oh, wait a minute. Nope, got it. Yeah, I think I got them. Yeah, I did. All right, guys, that's it for the Rumble Rants. If you put one up just recently, we're gonna go ahead and email me with it. You should get caught up in the emails Monday morning. I will be on tomorrow evening, I believe, at 4 or 5 on Real News Live with Mike and Jen. Wait, we did get something while I was talking. Let me see if I can share it. Well, Wolfie thinks that Wolfie thinks that notifications Monday or Tuesday and redemption on Wednesday. Well, I did get mid to late week, so we'll see. I don't really know how this is going to roll out. And the stupid Iran keeps getting in the way. They're messing around. Trump doesn't really want to blow up their whole country. Okay. Probably has plans for oil or business or something over there and doesn't want to blow everything up and cause a big problem or hurt anybody. He doesn't want to do that. He doesn't have to do that. But evil lies. They don't care. Oh, yeah, we'll play nice now. We'll surrender. Oh, yeah, we'll agree to that. Yeah, give us more time. When they've been delaying the damn thing this whole time. That's all they want to do is delay. That's all they can do. Someone's going to do it again. He's going to get tired of it, and he's just going to bomb them. Okay? Looks like to me, let's do an energy scan of the RV real quick before I leave, and those of you just stuck around get to hear it. Okay. What's going on? Shields up. Okay. Calling the team. Team's always here. They're always here. Okay, let's look at it. Where are we at now? Now, before I was trying to get a time period when you're reading energy. That is very difficult to do. Unless you're speaking to an entity who actually tells you when it's coming, you can kind of feel where it's at. But like other than that, you're not going to get like, oh yes, it's on Tuesday. I mean, it's not going to happen that way. Reading energies is different. It's not as specific like that, especially with time. Okay, our perception of time is different here than any others, and so don't expect to get exact time periods from reading energy. Okay, Be specific, the RV, what's going on right now? Trying to figure out why I'm in Venezuela and why I feel like I'm in a tunnel. That's probably mines. It's all set up. They're either ready in Venezuela or they are be ready any day for the trigger. All right, what about Iraq? Iraq thinks what's going on with Iran is all show. What? What are they doing? Sadani and some other guy. Appointments. Yeah, they're putting people in place. I think there's just a couple more to go, 2 or 3 more to go. So that's ready at the moment's notice. What else we got? We know it looks quiet. Whatever happened to happen there is underway. Silver's climbing. I wonder if it's going to get up to like 150 like I saw around this time of year. Last year I saw it around this time of year. Timing could be off a little bit, but I think it might keep climbing. I'm over there in like Germany and Switzerland. People are signing papers. Oh, I know what that is. So they're tears. That's good. Oh, I just tuned into the joy from that. Jentel confirm on that. That's awesome. See if I get anything else. Whoever. Now I'm shielded and everything, so I don't allow this kind of thing. But somebody out there is like, "Can you hear me? Can you hear me?" Like, so stop it. It's got to be somebody I know. That would never be allowed. I mean, or somebody really strong. With telepathic stuff. It's so interesting. Telepathic stuff. Um, Something's happening tomorrow night because I heard tomorrow night, and then it felt like tomorrow night more than anything. So tomorrow night, don't expect everything. Okay, something. It's probably the bombing. So there's some kind of release tomorrow night. Release from something. Marcy. Prayers for Scott 1484, Scott B. and his family. Please say prayers tonight for everybody who's waiting to get into the med bed. Let's keep them going. Ask God to send them the healing and the energy they need to get there. I think that's all I know. Okay. Okay, I love you guys. Thank you for watching. I will be on with Mike tomorrow night, and then and then my show again on Tuesday evening. It's usually like 4 or 5, depends on when I get done and get in here and get set up and ready. Let's pray for Wednesday. I can do it on Wednesday. You guys good? Are you good with Wednesday? Pull the trigger on Wednesday? Call, make our appointments? Let's do that. All right, let's do that. It's a plan. All right, guys. Have a wonderful evening, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.